Hi, this is Randy Altman with Post Perspective. I'm here with Maxon's Dave McGavran. And hello, Dave.
Hello, good to
How
see
are
you
you?
at least virtually.
Yes, exactly. So you're in Germany.
Yes,
I'm in New York.
in I'm in Heidelberg, enjoying at least nice spring weather, if nothing else.
Yeah, we're getting that as well. So, all right. So we're here to talk about NAB, but not NAB. So you guys have some alternative plans. You're going to be doing online presentations. But before we dig into that, can you talk about, you've got bits of news, big bits of news. So why don't you just jump right in?
Yeah, well, it would have been the first year that we were all coming together as Red Giant, Redshift, and Maxon, which would have been really exciting, but we're still going to do it virtually. And the bigger news that we're going to share today and let everybody take advantage of is we're releasing a new version of Cinema 4D. It's already available for people to go get. It's version S22. S as for subscription, as it's a release that's only for our subscribers at this point. So it's the first time we're doing that, and it's the first time we're doing a mid-year release. But we wanted to get a lot of exciting new features out to our subscribers before we bring them to the rest of the Cinema 4D users later this year.
Right, because typically you guys make your big announcement in September. Is that, or is it a SIGGRAPH related?
We usually made the announcement at SIGGRAPH, and we have a release in September. We will have a release in September this year as well. That'll be for all of our perpetual users as well. But we're bringing out, like I said, some great new features today for people to get their hands on. So it's a very exciting day for us, and we're hoping our users are going to really want to get their hands on these features.
Okay. Can you just tick off a couple of the features so they could?
Yeah. So since I arrived at Maxon and started listening to all the Cinema 4D customers tell me what they expected from me in my new role, is the main thing they wanted addressed was UVs. So this release has a whole bunch of UV improvements. It's got new packing algorithms. It's got new tools for seam selection and some other unwrap features, lots of visual enhancements to how you work with UVs. And we're also bringing out a new automatic unwrap UV feature that we partnered with the Ministry of Flat for. So a ton of new UV features. We've also been working extremely closely with Apple this year. And so we're bringing out a brand new viewport that's been completely rewritten, and that'll be taking advantage of Metal on the Mac. And it's also available obviously on Windows. And that brings some great performance enhancements, especially when you're dealing with lots of instances, and a number of new features for the viewport. Specifically, that's going to give us a lot more room to grow in the future as it's been completely rewritten. And then there's new modeling enhancements, new options to go to GLTF export and some other formats with ZBrush as well. So it's going to be a very exciting release. There's actually quite a lot in there, and that's available now.
Okay. Could you also talk about, so recently you guys kind of merged with Red Giant. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that will affect the tools going forward? Any new things to talk about in terms
of? Yeah,
of?
absolutely. So it's been a really busy year at Maxon's. Last NAB, when we were still able to hang out in person, we had just announced the Redshift acquisition. And then in January this year, we finished our merger with Red Giant. So it's been a lot of growth and change for the company, but it's been amazing. Basically, what we've been able to do is take some of the smartest and most creative people that I've ever worked with in the industry and bring them into one company and let us share the technical knowledge and vision for where we want to go in the future. So it's been just a ton of fun, and I've been able to work with lots of people I've known for a long time, like Stu Maschwitz and Aaron and a whole bunch of people from the Red Giant crew. So that's been really exciting. They just released a new version of the Universe Suite about a month ago, and they released a new short film, darker colors last month as well, which was really fun. People can go check that out. But they'll also be releasing some new tools in the next few weeks. So they're announcing today VFX Suite improvements. They're also going to be bringing on a new version of Trapcode that will support Cinema 4D file import. So we're going to start getting some of that technology working together. So there's a lot of great stuff to take a look at on the Red Giant side as well.
Very cool. Any other new bits before we jump into your online presentation stuff?
The only other thing I guess we're updating is we didn't want to leave Redshift onto the story. So they actually have quite a lot going on. They've been working really hard on their 3.0 release. And so we'll be sharing a screenshot today to show that they are making progress, and their Metal port for Redshift is now feature complete. So everything's now working on the Mac for Redshift, which is huge news. It's possibly a little bit later than we wanted, but it's been a lot of work. We've been partnering really closely with Apple on it. And we'll be bringing that to alpha testers later in the year as we get the performance where we want it to be. But it is now feature complete, and we're really happy to show some progress there.
Very cool. Okay, well, so these are weird times, and you guys always do online presentations from your booth at these shows, and that doesn't change this year. Can you just give us a little bit of some highlights that people could expect and where they could go to see these presentations?
Yeah, so luckily we've been sort of virtual NAB for a while now. We've had c4dlive.com available, and that's we're just going to continue that this year. I think we miss a lot of the fun and interaction that we usually get with our community at NAB, but we're going to try to represent a little bit of that online. So we'll be on c4dlive.com, and there's tons of presentations across Red Giant, Cinema 4D, Redshift. We have some of the old standards like Beeple presenting for us. We have Stu Maschwitz presenting. Andrew Kramer is going to be presenting. So it's going to be the same high caliber presentations that we always have, and this time it'll unfortunately only be virtual. But the cool thing is we will be doing Q&A with the presenters, so people will be able to participate with the presenters during their presentations. So people should log into c4dlive.com.
Great. And for those that can't watch it live, it will be recorded. They could go and check it out?
Absolutely. We always record these and share them throughout the year, and people can keep watching them because they're just so great tutorials from amazing artists. And it's just, they always, our artists love coming to our show and working with us to show what they're able to do with our tools.
Okay, great. And before I let you go, everybody's had to sort of quickly figure out remote workflows. Things are changing pretty quickly in the industry in terms of technology. I think that the move to the cloud is being ramped up a little bit. What do you see in terms of trends going forward?
You know, from our side, we were lucky is that we rolled out new floating license models last September, so people were able to log in and log onto their app wherever they were. And we've seen people really take advantage of that as they've had to move into remote workflows. We're going to be ramping that up also with the release we announced today. It now comes with organizational management. So an organization can do the same sort of license management where they can give out lots of licenses to different users, which we've seen as important for people who are, you know, switching again from home office or back to the office. So we're trying to enable those kind of workflows. We also partner with lots of companies like Bebop, who is trying to do virtual workflows. And so we're definitely going to enable those. We are seeing that our customers seem pretty capable to be able to switch between the home office and back at work. I've talked to a couple of the broadcast stations in the US, and they've been investing for years, not necessarily for this reason, in their virtual workflows, and Cinema 4D was a part of that. And so that's been really, I guess, refreshing in this time of crazy to see that people are able to keep their work going. I guess the tricky part is how the productions that need to actually be on set and recording content are going to adapt to this. And we are hearing, you know, people trying to do more 3D or more animated content to sort of fill the slots a little bit. So we're waiting to see what happens there, but it is nice to see that our users are able to move quickly into their remote workflows.
Fantastic. Well, Dave, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing what's new. And maybe I'll see you at an upcoming trade show one day.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really hope we can all get back in person. We do miss interacting with our community.
Yeah.
We're hoping everybody stays safe out there and continue being productive and working from home.
Same here. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Randy.